house down by Grover Perkins. There's a yellow house, and that painting was done there. And
Who lived there?
in that yellow house?
I think so. And she had a little kind of a studio house, a room out back, and a little shop like.
Yep.
If I remember right. But no, that painting was done at her home. And
where was it done?
In Ruth Moldy's
on
house.
Pearl Street.
Yeah.
Just up above.
So she lived in that yellow house, Keith.
Yeah.
Ruth did.
Well, how many houses were down on Chuckaberry?
I didn't know that there was. I don't even remember them being down there.
See, I don't remember the yellow house, but Sharon
right
said she could remember it.
I remember they were right. I thought she was right on Pearl Street, right there.
Oh, maybe, because I thought they were behind Grover Perkins. I thought there was another house behind his.
That's what Paul said. He said you go down like you're going down to Chickaberry.
There was a couple down on that little side street there. But
Yeah, before you got onto the ball field. I can remember those cement dummies they used to have in the village down there at the intersections.
Yep.
Do you remember the store next door to your house?
Yeah. Barrows?
That's who it was. Paul asked us who it was, and I
Barrows?
said I don't remember.
Barrows. Yeah.
What did they sell there?
Everything. Just like a general store. They sold.
So rakes, and they didn't have gasoline though, did they?
No, no gas. But it was bread and milk and probably cold meats. It was penny candy.
Yeah.
Because we used to go in on the way to school. And what was his name? Barrows. But that's got to be in a Johnsontown history somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I just remember Pop Gurdon O'Dowd living there.
Do you remember when Gurdon moved in there?
Yeah. You remember Lillian Sargent lived upstairs over that store for years.
Oh, the school teacher?
School teacher.
Yeah, I don't remember her.
Oh,
Patty and Bonnie would have remembered her, but I don't really remember her.
We heard from a lot of the older town folks that the Bradley House was a place to stop to on the way to school, particularly in the winter because it had the warmest register in town. So a bunch of the kids would go in like, I forgot who it was. It was telling me that he'd stop in there and everybody would be standing on the register and just before school time.
Us too. When we came down from upstairs, that's where we all like pushing each other off because we were freezing.
Remember, there's no railing on those stairs.
Well, how many kids were in there when you were being raised?
Well, I was the middle one.
So where did everybody sleep in that house? There was just only like 4 bedrooms.
Did the girls bunk together and the guys bunk together?
Well, let's see. There was a room as you went to the top of the stairs. There was a room on the left. You went right. We didn't have a bathroom in there for years and years. We had a toilet down cellar.
Yeah,
Wasn't that a sewing room or something upstairs?
No.
That little one where the bathroom is?
I don't know what it was before, but that's where they put the bathroom at the head of the stairs. And then there was a room to the, well, as you look at it, to the left.
Yeah, that was Bonnie and Patty's room.
Yeah, and then there was another room to the right.
Yeah.
And then you went
in the front of the house.
And then you went kind of like a narrow walkway.
Yeah.
And you went to the front and you go
Mom and Dad's room. Bedroom.
Yeah.
Facing the gym.
Yeah, but this was when Grandma and Grandpa, when we were growing up.
Oh.
So I don't know. I think Harvey and Wayne. Of course, they went into the service too. So.
So some were gone.
Yeah. Well,
Dad and Wayne and Harvey, I think, were all
Keith,
gone together.
Harvey, Wayne, Keith, and Curtis. Let's see. Harvey, Wayne, Keith, Curtis, Dookie, and Jimmy and Paul. All 7 of them were in the service.
Now, do you remember living in over at the Tout Mill house?
No. That was long before I was even born.
Okay, so Dad's older than you then. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dad was born in 25.
Yep.
Yeah.
and I was born in 30,
Do you remember all your school teachers?
pretty much.
Who was your first grade teacher?
I think Melba Blanchard.
She lived in Johnson as well?
I don't know for sure where she lived. But then there was Miss Potter,
That was second grade?
or third, second or third.
Yeah.
Lillian Sargent, Miss Demerit. They each had, I think, a couple of grades. I think first and second, third and fourth.
So they were kind of combined together a little bit.
Combined, yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of them, like Dick Perkins and others, used to say they used to come down from the Christie schools and all those other ones, and they used to get there with their sled and horses in the winter.
Yeah.
It would take them quite a while just to get down there. So you went to high school there? Yeah, I think
had
they.
a lot of
There?
Yeah. The night that Grandpa died, Grandma was over at the bowling alley because she used to be the cashier, and she was there. She'd been up to see him in the afternoon, and she went to work, and they called and told her he was gone.
Was he up at Copley when he died?
Yeah.
Now, hadn't he fallen down the stairs in the cellar
sometime
just
before.
a few days before or
Yeah,
something?
Quite a while before, I think it was.
Yeah.
He had punctured ribs, but I think the main reason was his liver. Because he never drank.
Right. Do you know how many quarts of ale I had to run to the refrigerator to get for him?
I don't know, but I know he always.
He'd polish it off, says, "Go get me another one." And he always called me boy, never called me by my name.
Yeah.
I can't remember Grandpa. Sharon remembers him, and I mean, there's only like a couple months in our age. And Mom said, "Well, he used to hold you a lot because you were sick as a baby," and Sharon can remember it. And I said, I struggle to try to picture him, but I can't. I mean, Grandma come up every weekend. You know, Grandma, I just loved Grandma.
Yeah.
She played Scrabble and Monopoly, and we made
Well,
popcorn.
that was
Yeah.
after she stayed with, moved in with Lois.
Yes.
But I'll never forget, she stayed with me at one time. She stayed 13 weekends in a row, and everywhere we went, we took her with us, and loved her. Loved my mother. But then, we wanted to go somewhere to do something, and she went to Barbara's. And, I don't know really what happened, but at that time they said that I didn't want her, and that wasn't the case. The case was that we just wanted to do something that we wanted to do for that weekend, and I always felt bad because I don't know.
So when and where did you meet Bud?
Oh, I was on the basketball team, and we were playing basketball at Jericho Center, and I was a pretty good basketball player. And afterwards, he and another guy came to Johnson on a Friday or Saturday night, and I was crossing the road by the drugstore there, the post office drugstore, and this car pulled over, and they wanted to know where that blonde girl lived that played basketball, that tall blonde girl, and I said, oh, you mean Gloria Scribner? And I says, oh, had good luck. I says, she doesn't go out. She doesn't. So then they said, well, where are you going? And I says, what are you doing? And I says, oh, I'm going to Hardwick to the dance. And so instead, we went, when the guys got there that took us to the dance, a bunch from Waterville, and we went to North Hyde Park instead, and then Bud and what was his name? Georgie Myers were there at the dance. My God, I didn't get a chance to sit down or dance with anybody I'd always danced with, because Bud would come over and he'd say, we'd dance, and then he'd say, on to the next dance. So I didn't get a chance to dance then. And then after a while, I, of course, let him take me home after a few weeks. And I remember my mother saying one night, we'd go over to sometimes to the Charmant afterwards. One morning, I, of course, dances until midnight, so didn't get home till 1:30, 1:30, and my mother was awake or woke up, and so she says, "Is that the gazebo you were out with?" She says, "Until 2 o'clock this morning." Sure, she called it a gazebo. And I says, "Yep," and so. And then he wanted to come up to the house. Of course, my house, we never had people, because we weren't up to up to the standard of most people. We had 11 kids, and we didn't have everything everybody had, and so. But he came up on this one night after he'd been here on Saturday night. He came up on Sunday, and he got to the point where he was coming up quite regularly. That's how it all is.
So you fell in love.
I guess that's it.
Basketball star meets
Yeah.
hometown boy.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Now, when did you move here onto this farm? Was this
52.
in 1952? Would Bud already own this farm, or?
No, he bought a place before, just before we were married. He signed papers for a house over in Jericho Corners. So then Bud's dad wasn't well, and so he wanted to give up the farm.
Was he working for the town at that time too?
No. He had his own trucking business.
So it was his father that owned the farm?
Yeah, father and stepmother.
Yeah.
So he kind of fell into it, and he was drawing milk cans to the creamery. Had his truck. He got home and he bought the old truck back that he had sold before he went in to service from the guy. He didn't want it anymore. So he drew milk for, I don't know, 20, 25 years. And then after that he worked for the road for 26 years, I think it was, 26 or 28.
Yeah, see, that's the only thing I remember him doing was when he was just working as for the town.
No, I went with him from my junior year through my senior year in high school. Lots and lots of memories. Lots of things happen.
Now, who was the firstborn?
Marvin.
Then it was
Marvin and Malcolm.
Malcolm.
And Murray and Martha.
Yeah. I can remember Martha was always working at the snack bar over here when.
Yeah, Joe's snack bar.
Yeah, she worked there for years.
Yeah, quite a while.
They liked her there because it said it drew in all the young guys to come buy stuff.
I don't know, she's a good worker.
Yeah.
So have you been in touch with Dick Sample?
Well, is that who we went to see over in Moore's Forks?
We ended up going to Moore's Forks, and
We've been doing all kinds of adventures.
we met up with a sample over there, and that's related to. But we're trying to find some of the other. Where does Dick Sample?
The weekend that we went over there, this sample over in Moore's Forks, New York, told us that they'd been to Elmore the weekend before to a sample reunion.
Oh. You kids didn't get any information on that?
No.
We don't hear anything.
Well, that was supposed to be a good one.